Welcome everybody to Full Court Press, the pickup. There's been some interesting foreign import moves this season, and that's because there's some new rules throughout the region. Let's take a closer look. Now this year in the CBA, teams can register as many as 4 foreign imports on their roster, but can only use 2 per game. They can rotate interchangeably, giving teams the ability to tweak rosters and have backups in case of any injuries. However, due to COVID restrictions, we've only seen one CBA team who currently has more than 2 imports on their roster, the Guangzhou Long Lions. Typically, imports have time restrictions. They can only play a combined 6 quarters, and only 1 import player can play during the 4th quarter. Now, when up against teams that don't have any imports, they can only play a combined 2 quarters. There's also a priority rights rule for foreign imports, meaning an imports team has the right to re-sign them for a 10% salary bump and don't need to outbid other high-bidding teams. The B-League also has new rules. Now, teams can also register more foreign imports this year from up to 2 to 3, and they can play with all of them. The Japanese teams also have a spot for a naturalized player such as the Beast, Ira Brown. And this year, the league also introduced a special spot for Asian imports. This is a spot for players from China, South Korea, the Philippines, and other Asian countries. And this year, there are 2 Asian imports, 30 Ravenna from the Philippines and Yang Jae-min from South Korea. The Philippines is unique because of the year-round play. The Philippine Cup is an all-domestic battle. The Commissioner's Cup and the Governor's Cup allows teams to hire 1 import with a height limit. The KBL has also made some changes. The KBL used to have tryouts and a draft for their foreign imports that were held in Las Vegas. Imports would apply for the draft and the teams held tryouts and then the draft behind closed doors. The league also previously implemented height limits for bigs and guards. However, starting last year, they threw the height limits and said goodbye to the antiquated draft process. Teams were given the freedom to sign players they wanted, and things are working out well. The competition is better, imports play at a higher level, and just look at the last year's The Terrific 12 with guys like Jameel Warney. For more news and fresh content, watch full coverage of Full Court Press every week on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to East Asia Super League and hit the notification bell for the top basketball headlines from around the region.